Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is announcing the biggest free speech win, I would guess, in modern American history. Welcome to Doug in Exile. Let me explain. Jim Jordon just released this statement by Google, officially unshackling YouTube and inviting back creators that have been canceled. Because this was the greatest form of censorship in American history across the broadest amount of people, that makes this reversal the greatest breakthrough and victory for censorship. Let me show you the documents, and huge hats off to Jim Jordon. There's people that say no arrests, there's no arrests. This is more important than arrests. This is more important. They're all, when's Fauci going in jail? What Fauci did is nothing compared to stopping the speech of millions and millions of people saying millions and millions of things in the public sphere, okay? You stop millions of people talking and you wouldn't even know about Fauci. You wouldn't even know he existed. You wouldn't even know what he did. It is only through free speech that we even know that people should be arrested. So follow my argument a little bit. This is, in my view, the most significant news, not just of the day, but of the years. I'll explain. It has a personal angle to it, of course, because my YouTube channel has been canceled and destroyed so many times. Here's Jim Jordon. Breaking: due to our oversight efforts, Google commits to offer all creators previously kicked off of YouTube due to political speech violations to return to the platform. This includes Behizzy, my good friend Quentin Q, Hillary Hill, Mosader, CanCon, could be Steve Crowder. I mean, all these big name people, big and small, if you were kicked off for political reasons, they're going to invite you back on. This is good for free speech. We need more speech. And this is going to also up the sheer number of conservative speakers on YouTube, because it was almost all conservatives that got canned. Let me read a little bit of this and then I'll take a break and tell you more about my personal story, okay? It's hard to get this whole document on the screen. A lot of you complain, Doug, why are you in the corner? I can't see well enough. Can you move this around? It would literally take me all day to figure out even how I did this in the corner. And I would miss out on giving you 4 videos. So instead, I'm a little junkier on the presentation. People have told me, Doug, you're out of focus. Your background's in focus. I think if I spoke from back here, I might be in focus. But, you know, I'm about the content, not the presentation. In case you haven't guessed, look at my crummy studio, my crummy camera, my crummy microphone, my crummy sound volume going up and down all the time, my crummy composition, but it's the speech, it's the content, not the presentation. I'm telling you guys. Here's by electronic mail to the Honorable Jim Jordon, Chairman. This is from the legal representation of Google and YouTube. The statement of facts submitted on behalf of our client, Alphabet Inc. That's all of Google companies are Alphabet Inc. And its subsidiary, YouTube, collectively Alphabet or the company. In response to subpoenas issued by the House Committee on the Judiciary of Committee, February 15th, 2023, that's over a year ago, and March 6th, 2025, that's this year under Trump, because this is not going away. Number one, throughout the committee's investigations, Alphabet provided responsive information to the committee to fulfill its oversight responsibility, producing internal records and providing extensive testimony, including more than 40 sets of responsive documents. Guys, this is going to absolutely nuke Joe Biden by the end of this thing, so hold tight. Alphabet is a collection of businesses. Fine, that's point 2. Point 3, the company is committed to doing its part to continue to keep the digital ecosystem safe, reliable, and open for free expression. Alphabet designs its products to work for everyone. Bias towards a political viewpoint like Christian, pro-life, Republican, is not in line with the company's values or the company's business interests. Alphabet's business model depends on being a useful source of information for everyone and a home for users of all backgrounds. As a result, Alphabet has a neutral, long-term business incentive to apply and develop its policies consistently, impartially, and independently. So what happened with COVID? They're going to explain their part. Here's the company appreciates the accountability from the House Judiciary Committee, led by Jim Jordon, and its critical role in advancing the core American value of freedom of expression. Thank you. The company has a commitment to freedom of expression. The commitment is unwavering and will not bend to political pressure. That's actually important because all the pressure is going to come from the left. So yeah, don't bend to the political pressure to kick me off for saying a man and a man should not be married, that life begins at conception, basic scientific statements like weather changes, things like that. Now, here's the rub, okay? So they've done this public trust stuff, all this. Then comes this one. This is the COVID-19 carve-out statement by them. This is kind of their excuse. I always was sympathetic to this excuse. I don't agree with it, but I get it. Number 7, the COVID-19 pandemic was an unprecedented time in which online platforms had to reach decisions about how best to balance freedom of expression with responsibility, including responsibility with respect to the moderation of user-generated content that could result in real-world harm. Guys, that's where all of us were at, including Google. They go, look, if I let these people just say, we hate vaccines, don't take the vaccine, it'll kill you. They believe they could be putting people's life in danger. You got to remember how big like the giant COVID cult was that everyone was under. People at my church said, if you don't wear a mask, you're trying to kill the innocent and you should sacrifice yourself to stop trying to kill the innocent. Okay, there was a disagreement about it. The information wasn't clear. I think as the information became clear, it came out clear that there was real mistakes made during COVID, and it wasn't me not taking the shot, okay? Same thing with election integrity. Over time, there were people that believed that Biden flat out stole the election. Mike Pence, you could say whatever you want. But then YouTube is saying, will real people be harmed if it incites a riot on January 6th. That's what they were afraid of, was there was a giant takeover. Now, I can say they're being paranoid, and I do. I thought they were being paranoid, convenient, and then you saw them totally yawn over Black Lives Matter. They didn't care about that damage. No, they weren't terrified of Black Lives Matter. They were terrified of January 6th. A couple of cosplayers, practically about 500 people trespassing, maybe 1,000 people trespassing. They thought they were going to take over the United States of America. I thought Black Lives Matter was going to take over the United States of America. Didn't mean I wanted to be for censorship and take them all off the air. So just so you know, that's the rub. That's the excuse YouTube gave. And my channel got kicked, okay, in 2021. They gave me strikes and then they killed that other channel. It had 440,000 subscribers. This is my second actual channel that has now 600,000 subscribers, more than that one. But given the trajectory of growth, this channel would be at 1 million subs if I did not get all my other channels canceled. This channel, because I'm watching other channels of way smaller than me that lapped me, got up to 1 million subs. They do it within a year and it's easy for them. I've been on here for 5 years, but I can't get a channel to last more than a year. So, and I was one of the pioneers in the political channel front. So I was on the front end of it getting all those views. Well, since then, since I got kicked off the air, the political genre has blown up and everyone else got to take advantage of that blow up and I did not. So I didn't get the traffic. I didn't get the algorithm boost. I was actually off the air the day after Trump was shot, was when they took this channel off the air. So I didn't even get the growth of the entire election cycle where most people, you'll see them growing just huge fast. My other buddies in this field, Professor Nez, Devery Darkins, all that, you can go back and look at their views. I didn't get any of that growth during the election. Boo-hoo. Boo-hoo for me. However, and by the way, it cost me, I lost millions of dollars in income that I would have had. I don't want to sue. I just want my free speech back. YouTube out of nowhere gives me all my channels back in April. They go, we looked at all your channels. We made a big mistake. We're sorry. Here's all 12 of your canceled channels, including this one and the original Doug in Exile that got canned. They gave them all back. To me, I want to be careful about this. I just wanted my free speech back. I want to be able to talk to you. That's why I'm here. And I'm able to make a fantastic living just doing what I do. I read an ad, one ad on the 4th video each day. One ad out of 120 minutes of content I'm putting out. I spend 1 minute reading an ad that helps pay all of my bills. So thank you all. Wait, so let's continue down this statement on COVID. Senior Biden, now this is the scandal of Joe Biden, guys. This is where Joe Biden, all the Democrats saying Republicans aren't for free speech. They attack Jimmy Kimmel. The Democrats despise free speech. They've always been attacking it more. Here's where Joe Biden, the administration, officially attacked free speech right here. A senior Biden administration officials, including White House officials, conducted repeated and sustained outreach to Alphabet and pressed the company, that is YouTube, regarding certain user-generated content related to the COVID-19 pandemic that did not violate its policies. That is, Biden went after people talking about COVID and asked them to be shut down, though those people did not violate YouTube's actual policies. That's censorship from the government. While the company continued to develop and enforce its policies independently, Biden administration officials continued to press the company, YouTube, to remove non-violative user-generated content. That was my stuff. That's why I got removed. The people over the target were removed. If you want to know who's a hack, they're the ones that were allowed to stay on. If you want to know who is dangerous, I mean, CanCon, Mosader, Behizzi, me, Hillary Hill, we were dangerous. They wiped us clean. So glad that you guys subscribed. Well, that's why I'm in exile. Welcome to exile. Welcome to dangerous free speech. So Biden created this political atmosphere that sought to influence the actions of platforms based on their concerns regarding misinformation. That's what Biden hid under. Misinformation. That's what Hillary Clinton wanted to put us in jail for. Misinformation. And remember, the Biden administration, all the misinformation that the Biden administration spewed out on you, like the border was secure. No illegals are coming over. We're not trafficking human beings. We're not releasing children to people that aren't their parents. There are no payment kickbacks to USAID. Biden is healthy and sharp as a tack. They lied. That government put out more misinformation than any other government in history. Here's YouTube. It is unacceptable and wrong when any government, including the Biden administration, attempts to dictate, this is YouTube's words, attempts to dictate how the company moderates content, how YouTube moderates its content, and the company has consistently fought against those efforts on First Amendment grounds. People have a nickname for YouTube. They call it CommieTube. YouTube is not CommieTube. They're fellow victims of the government. They said they tried protecting the rights, but it was the government, including the Biden administration, that attempted to dictate. The dictator is Biden. The dictator who dictates are Democrats. I always stuck with YouTube. It is the largest influence on the internet, the largest broadcasting network in my life. And guys, when I was in 8th grade, I just wanted to have a broadcast network. I just wanted to make cartoons and talk to the people my whole life. And I had to go like, how do I get ABC to look at my cartoons? And I did. I got them on ABC and Universal and NBC and Nickelodeon. And they censored your content. They wouldn't let me talk about Trump on Nickelodeon. On ABC, are you kidding? They'd say, hey, just make cartoons and sell Happy Meals. I go, I have a country to save. I want to do politics. YouTube is the least censorship I've ever had in my life. And that includes Rumble, which is a scam. Do not use Rumble. I can't explain it now. It's a scam, massive scam. They are taking creators' money for their own benefit. They skim it. YouTube gives far more money to its creators than X, than Facebook, than Rumble. If you want to pay your right-wing influencers a living wage, get them on YouTube and support them. This is where the action is. And so I got, for free, the largest broadcast network in my life. They don't tell me what to do, say, and think. I'm thankful. This is a huge step for YouTube. They have to continue going down this path. They have to continue down this path, and I encourage them down this path. So let me punch back out here to Jim Jordan's Twitter feed here for just a moment. YouTube also, Jim Jordan says, admits the Biden administration censorship pressure was unacceptable and wrong. Remember that Biden and Democrats are the censors of the largest online censorship in history, not Trump telling the FCC to take Jimmy Kimmel off the air. No one watches Jimmy Kimmel. There may be a breach of censorship there. It's tiny. compared to what Democrats have done for 20 years. It confirms that the Biden administration wanted Americans censored for speech that did not violate YouTube's policies, details when YouTube began rolling back its censorship policies on political speech after the judiciary GOP began its investigation, states that publicly debate should never come at the expense of relying on authorities. That's official fact checkers, which are over on Facebook right now, which is why I'm not posting to Facebook. Promises to never use third-party fact checkers is what YouTube promises to you. They will not use third-party fact checkers because that's where the politics, that's where Democrats take all those jobs. They're the fact checkers. Warns that Europe's censorship against laws target American companies and threaten American speech. Europe is threatening YouTube right now, and X even more. Over the past few years, we have uncovered massive scandals relating to big tech censorship, says Jim Jordon. During the Biden-Harris years under White House pressure, YouTube changed its policies to censor political debate on COVID and elections. Today, YouTube admits that the censorship pressure from the Biden administration was unacceptable and wrong. Okay, and here's the big conclusion. What does it mean? Whether you're an established YouTube presence with a massive following like Dan Bongino, or just we're starting out to express political views there, you will have an opportunity to come back onto the YouTube platform if you were censored. They're inviting all of you back. This is a huge victory. That's 2 platforms now that they're going after. 3 if you count Twitter. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Thank you, Jim Jordon. There's obviously a lot more tweets on here to cover, but I think this episode's gone long enough. I've given you now the inside scoop on this channel. Subscribe if you want to fight free speech. Watch this channel every episode if you want to fight free speech. Leave a comment below if you want to multiply this channel's message out, and share the link to your friends. Tell your friends about Doug in Exile. This is where free speech lives. And guys, when it all goes down, we will be here together, arm in arm as patriots. I'm Doug in Exile. Thanks to all the people that have stayed with me through all the years. Shout out to the Quad Club.